You may be wondering now, if you can move elements around, but those elements can have children, what actually happens to those children? Well, let's explore that concept. This is going to be QML for beginners. This is 3-5, and I'm just going to whip through that very quickly. All those are defaults. I love hitting that enter button as fast as humanly possible. And let's just throw some comments in here. This is parent and children relationships. Now, if you are a parent, like you have children, you have a relationship with your child, and QML objects are no different. And even if you don't have children, you probably have a parent that you have a relationship with. And if you don't have a relationship with your parent, well, just follow along. I don't know what to tell you here. So we're going to make an image. We're going to give it a source. Had that already queued up on the clipboard. And we're going to say width 150, height 100, and let's go ahead and set the XY coordinates. So we're going to say x equals 100, y equals 100. Let's run this. Pretty obvious what this is going to do. Sure enough, it's at 100 by 100, and everything is just working. Now what we can do is make some rectangles. Now notice how we're in these brackets here. We're not starting a whole new separate component. Because we're in this bracket, we're actually in this guy here. What we can do is make a child. And anything we add in here by default is a child of that object. So we're going to say color, red. Let's go ahead and add x is 0. Y is 0. Say width is 50, and height, let's put that as 50 as well. And let's put an opacity in here because we want to see what's going on. We're going to put this at 50%. Now, looking at this, you may be saying, x and y are 0, so this is going to be in the upper left-hand corner. No, it's not going to be in the upper left-hand corner of the window. It's going to be in the upper left-hand corner of its parent, which is the image. Let's demonstrate that. Sure enough, there is our little rectangle right here, red rectangle, at the 0, 0 position of its parent, which is this image. There's that invisible corner I was talking about in a previous video. And let's go ahead and just through the magic of copy and paste here, make a blue rectangle. And we want to put this at the parent dot width minus 50. And we could actually, if we wanted to, we could say minus this object's width and this object's height. Let's run this. And now you can see how we've got one here and one here. So what is really going on here is because these rectangles are children of this image, its coordinate system is adjusted or offset. And it does that automatically. You don't even have to think about it. So because we added this rectangle and we put it at 0, 0, it's at the image 0, 0, which is right here. Now the image itself is actually located at 100 by 100. So what does this really mean? You can actually offset these because of the Z order we talked about. So let's go ahead and put this at -25. And we can actually go out of the bounds. We can go into the negative space of this. So that 0 position, that's called clipping if you were expecting that to disappear. We can actually define whether or not we want that to clip, but because clipping is off, boom, it's just going to keep going outside of its bounds. That's actually pretty cool. And we can still play around with the Z order here. So let's say C0, C4, why not? Notice how the Z order is not impacted by the parent. And let's put that at the very bottom and see what happens. This is something that confuses a lot of people. You may be looking at this going, wait a minute, the image has a z order of 0. And these have a higher z order, so they should be on top. So let's flip this image around and see what happens. Let's put this as a 3. That is a 1. And this is a 0. And let's see what it looks like. Were you expecting something different? Were you expecting the rectangle to be underneath this image? It really can't be. Why? Because this guy is a child of this. So in effect, this image becomes the desk. If we're thinking the concept of a desk, this application's a desk and you're placing things on it. You place this little logo on there, and then you're placing these children inside of the parent. There are tricks to make this go underneath that image, but just using the z-axis, you're not going to have any luck. And that's something that can really frustrate people right from the beginning.